Welcome into the Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast, where we provide you with your weekly diagnosis of everything fantasy football. Whether it's season-long leagues, dynasty, DFS, or sometimes even IDP, we got you covered all year long. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Welcome into Fantasy Football Diagnostics Podcast. It is Wednesday, November 16th. I'm your host, Jon June. And of course, I got my guy, Greg Penniman. Greg, how we doing today, man?
Doing well. We're at Luke 11, man. You know, we're almost there. We're in the closing time of that fantasy season. Got this Thursday night matchup to look forward to. Um, yeah, it's crazy how fast the season has been going. How fast we're getting close to that crunch time, and kind of like another season now. You know, we get to last couple weeks of the season playoffs.
Most definitely. It is week 11, and your boy is suffering through some allergies, but we are professionals, so we're going to get through it.
hmm
Um, Obviously, we're going to cover some Thursday night football. We're going to break down our streams of the week. So, without further ado, let's just jump into those streams of the week, Greg. How are we feeling at the quarterback position? Who we rolling out there this week?
No, we were saying, you know, it's a tough week. The waiver wire, you know, it's hard to really get one as a sure thing. But if you're really desperate, I think I mean, not the only, but one of the main options should be Taylor Heineke versus Houston. He's 12% rostered. Really looking at this matchup here against Houston, and that the fact, you know, Taylor Heineke coming off a win against Philly, but you know, didn't really perform that well. Only had 211, no touchdowns, but in his two of the four games he's played this year, he's got 2 touchdowns on the year, so he's capable of getting some numbers on the year, and also has passed for over 279 yards as his cap. So I think in a matchup against Houston, where you know the Washington should be favored to win, he can put up some points.
Yeah, that's a definitely a tough Houston defense, but Heineke gets a lot of things done with his legs and his arm, and he showed no fear when going to Terry McLaurin. So definitely like that. My quarterback stream of the week. I'm going with I didn't even put Greg's up. His stream of the week was Heineke. My
Yeah,
stream of
man.
the week
Yeah, man. It's
is gonna
tough.
be
I know.
it's tough. It's tough. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota this week. Going up against San Francisco, 38% rostered in Yahoo leagues. Um, my top option's actually Jacoby Brissett, but we're expected to get snow and wind in that game. With the
Mhm.
Buffalo versus Cleveland game, so I'm going Mariota. It's a bad week in terms of quarterback streamers, but this one makes sense. The matchup is good. The game has the highest total on the week. Atlanta's home and they're favored with the fourth highest implied team total on the week. Chicago allows the 24th most fantasy points to Chicago's allowed 24 fantasy points to quarterbacks in two of their last three games. So definitely like this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think these are probably the safest options you could have for in this brutal week.
Greg, what are you doing at tight end this week?
Tight end, I'm getting my man Trey McBride his opportunity going against San Francisco. He's 5% rostered. I think, you know, I mentioned him on the waiver wire section. Zach Ertz are now officially out for the rest of the season. He's gonna have surgery. Trey McBride, highly prospect out of college, probably the number one tight end out of college this year. So I think he's gonna get his opportunity. And the team that, you know, Arizona, that's gonna pass to the tight end. Zach Ertz was getting targeted almost 6 to 7 times a game. So Trey McBride should scoop some of those targets up, and I think he's going to build up his opportunity starting this week.
Yeah, it looks like me and you are on the same page this week because I'm also going with Trey McBride. This one's all about the opportunity. Like we said, Ertz
hmm
left the game. When he left the game, McBride went on to play 91% of the offensive snaps, ran 27 routes, took over pretty much the Zach Ertz role in that offense. The production wasn't there, but I think, with a week for the second round pick to get involved, he should see more production. And what's a good matchup is San Francisco allows the 11th most fantasy points to the position over the last three games.
Yeah, totally agree.
Greg, what about defensive, man? Defensive stream of the week this week.
Got to go with my New York Football Giants going against the Detroit Lions. You know, I think just this is a matchup where they can create some turnovers here. They create some havoc. They're at home. So they're gonna do what they got to do here against Detroit, a team that's basically been carried on their defense. Got 4 sacks last week. Team that's getting multiple sacks per game. That D line's been playing really well. Dexter Lawrence has been playing great. They've been getting picks and been getting fumble recovery, so they've been all over the place. For a possible 8-2 team, this defense is doing work.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm gonna stick in town. I'm going with the New York Football
There you
Jets.
go. There you go.
36% rostered. The Jets defense should be rostered in more leagues. They're tied for fifth amongst defenses in fantasy points per game. They're mainly available because they were dropped ahead of their matchup with Buffalo, which was followed by a bye week. But even in that Buffalo matchup, they were the third ranked defensive unit on the week in terms of fantasy. They face a New England offense that over the last 3 weeks is a top 10 matchup for fantasy defenses. So definitely scoop the New York Jets up and look to use them as a rest of season defense.
Yeah, man, I like that. Both teams, New York relying on that defense.
Absolutely. Like we said, Thursday night football preview. We're here to break down a matchup between the 5-3 Tennessee Titans as they travel to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and take on the 4-6 Green Bay Packers. This game has a 41.5 point total, where the Green Bay Packers are 3 point favorites according to FanDuel Sportsbook. In terms of weather, excuse me. In terms of weather, there is supposed to be cold with a bit of wind. In terms of injuries for Green Bay, Romeo Dobbs is out with an ankle. Randall Cobb was designated to return from the injured reserve with an ankle, so he's eligible. Cornerback Jean Charles, he's doubtful with an ankle, and linebacker Devondre Campbell is out with a knee. For Tennessee, cornerback Lonnie Johnson, he's out with a hamstring. Cornerback Caleb Farley was added to the injured reserve with a back. Center Ben Jones is out with a concussion. Safety Amani Hooker out with a shoulder. Linebacker Bud Dupree is out with a hip. And then place kicker Randy Bullock is out with a calf injury. Josh Lambo was signed to replace him. Greg, where are you going with this matchup here?
With this game, I'm taking the under. I'm gonna take Green Bay to cover, and I'm gonna take Green Bay to win. Uh, on the Green Bay side, Aaron Rodgers, Tennessee has been not such a good defense this year. They've been just, okay, very inconsistent though. Aaron Rodgers should have some opportunities here, especially if he can get it to his new main guy, Christian Watson, which I'll, mention. But Aaron Rodgers here, I'm not, excited to pull the trigger on him as a quarterback one, but I think he's got some borderline QB1 upside. I think I'll rank him in that 13, 14 range. Aaron Jones, of course, is still the must start on this team. Leading this team in carries, rushing yards. Still only 2 touchdowns on the year for rushing. I think that regression's got to come when he's getting some more opportunities in the red zone when healthy. So he's an RB1 for me. As far as the receivers, we came into the week talking about Christian Watson a lot. I think you added the fab. Hopefully you got him. I think you can put him out there as a wide receiver too. When he's going to get a lot of the opportunity, I'm sure he's gotten a lot of trust from Aaron Rodgers in the last week, so he's the receiver I want in this offense. Um, the other guys, Alan Lazard, Robert Tunyon, those complimentary guys, I'm not pretty big on unless you're really desperate. Maybe you can put out Alan Lazard there as a deep league flex. And then on the Titan side, Ryan Tannehill, kind of feel the same way. I'm not really starting him. I'm not really excited to play him. Derrick Henry is really the guy on this offense in general that I'm looking to play. Had a down week last week, only 53 yards, but this man's been a beast all year. Can't see why after 5 straight 100-yard games, he won't get back to that level. So yeah, should be a tough game. Definitely like the under here. I think the Packers squeeze it out.
Yeah, this is really about to be like a 15-minute pod because your boy is struggling over here. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna take the under. I'm actually gonna take Tennessee to cover. I'm gonna take Tennessee to win. On the Green Bay side, Aaron Jones, he's an RB1. He's been great as of late. Aaron Rodgers, think I agree with you. He's on that like QB 13 territory, like slides in as a QB1. Allen Lazard and Christian Watson. I have them both down as wide receiver 2s, with Lazard, being on the lower end of the wide receiver 2 range. But Christian Watson, I think, has that wide receiver 1 upside. Obviously, we saw that in the last game. So he gets the edge for me. On the Tennessee side, it's really all about Derrick Henry, RB1. That's really it. Traylon Burks, definitely interesting in DFS, and maybe someone you could stash ahead of Thursday Night Football, see what that role looks like. But I do like this game. It's definitely interesting. But like I said, I'm taking the under here. In terms of bold predictions, I'm gonna go with I like this parlay right here, the under, along with Traylon Burks' prop on over 32.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, that's interesting because my parlay has the under as well. But I'm gonna take a Derrick Henry anytime touchdown with that. So that's plus 276. And if you want to even get more spicier, you could add Derrick Henry over 80 yards. I'm not gonna go over his total. His total is like 107. I'm gonna stick a little safe and go 80 yards on that.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Definitely 2 good props that you could throw in there. Just a quick announcement to everybody: we are not going to have a show on Thursday. Instead, we will do all the games on Saturday, all the remaining games and starts of the week. So just make sure you tune in on Saturday, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or whether you're watching live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and you witnessed me struggle through this allergy right now on this show. So,
Man, it's
but
really
you know
out
what?
here.
Yeah, we got y'all
Out here.
covered, yo. We got y'all covered. This literally just happened over time. So if you're listening, maybe you could go and watch, on YouTube to watch this in action. But anyway, we appreciate y'all for kicking it with us. Definitely appreciate you guys, supporting the show. Appreciate all the love. Just make sure you, again, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see y'all on Saturday when we break out all the games and start the week and place and get money.
Yes, sir,
Until
man.
next time.
Let's get my man John better, yo. Get ready for this game. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Have a good one. We are out of here. Peace.